Let's talk about the difference between being healed and unhealed. It's so different than many of you think. I have clients coming to me all day long saying, Candace, why are my old patterns still popping up if I've already done the work? Watch this video. Guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please click the little subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much. And welcome back. Today, we're diving in. You guys know I've been doing this work for over a decade, and I have seen thousands of people go from traumatized to really healed. But there's something specific that a lot of people miss that's incredibly important to get. It's not like we're going to heal and life is going to stop lifing, right? We're going to heal, and then you guys oftentimes, and I did this in my younger years, will take evidence in life like, oh, my old pattern's coming up and I have that feeling again, as evidence that you didn't heal correctly or you did it wrong or you're not done yet, and that is not the case. The truth is, how we relate to the issue is the issue, but what that requires is holding capacity, right? So when we heal a wound, it's because we are no longer buying into the meaning of that emotion that comes up, right? So if you get the gut punch and that shame shock that comes up, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's something still wrong with me. I'm still not enough. You know what I mean? Fill in the blank with whatever your story is. The healing comes when you see that pattern come to you. You might still have that initial feeling and you say to yourself, oh, I know how to self-soothe. That is an old story. The reality is this is just happening. It doesn't mean anything. I'm going to go into some examples. One of the big examples is people who have had trauma bonds or people who attract unavailable partners, and they'll come to me and they'll be like, Candace, I just did all this inner work. I know all these things are not true. I've shifted my vibration. I'm sitting in more of a deep anchored worthiness. Why am I still attracting unavailable people? And I will say, of course you're going to attract these people. You're beautiful, you're smart, you're wonderful. You're always going to attract all kinds of people. It's about your boundaries and discernment to now know what that is and choose differently. Or another example is, Candace, I healed my rejection wound and I'm going to the next level in life and I got this hit of rejection. We will always get tested when we're elevating. And the test isn't to say, God's punishing me, I haven't done enough work, I did it wrong, it didn't work. It's to say, are you going to relate to it differently? Are you going to take the rejection and instead of rejecting yourself because others reject you, or instead of taking it as a sign that this thing you want to do isn't going to work because you're unworthy, you take it as a sign of that's annoying. I can hold capacity to continue growing on my path and allow this reality to be there without buying into it, without giving it that dominant energy, but noticing that it's there. And do I have the capacity to allow that to be there while I continue doing me, right? That is what so many healers and coaches and therapists aren't talking about. Is it's not that we heal and life changes. It's that we heal and we change in life. Really get that. When I had my first awakening, I was only 16 years old. And I was like, oh, I know myself. I know what I'm here to do in the world. It's a whole story. You can find it on YouTube. And I knew that there was nothing wrong with me because I grew up thinking there was, right? And so as a teenager, I started knowing that there wasn't. I had a whole download, right? And I started living my dreams. And I got a rejection. And I didn't understand that this wasn't God doing it to me. It's people in society. I didn't understand that anyone would ever be jealous. Why? I grew up thinking I wasn't enough, right? So you don't realize that what was happening, I was open enough to see, is it because of me? Did I do something to create this? All those old things. And I realized it wasn't. So I took so long trying to figure out, why did this happen then? And what I learned later in life is, what are you making it mean? If you didn't have any kind of rejection wound, people would reject you and you'd be like, that's silly. If you have a deep rejection wound, people reject you and say, what's that mean about me? Really take that in for any experience you're going through right now. So when we are about to elevate, or when we have elevated, it's not like these things come in to test us, to throw us off. These things come in as an opportunity for us to redefine what is going on. These things come in to see how anchored are you in yourself. Do you take these things and let them throw you off of yourself? That's the work. Or do you take them in and say, great, that's funny, still doing me? It's very difficult, it's very challenging, it's very mandatory. Because if you want to be the author of your own life, if you want to be the authority of how you create your reality, then you don't let all these things come in with the codependent thought, what does that mean? Why is that happening to me? Stop allowing it. Stop giving these things a permission slip. Stop giving your environment more power than you give your inner environment. Your inner guidance system gets empowered every time you choose you over the messages in your environment that could sway you, right? So being healed versus unhealed is, am I still letting all these old trigger wounds trigger me and throw me off? Or am I noticing them as a trigger and I'm sitting in myself, not leaving myself and saying, I know this still bothers me. I wish it didn't. I'm doing good work. What do I need to be able to continue believing in myself? What do I need to continue believing that this isn't personal? What do I need to continue believing that this is not personal and this is not happening to throw me off or give me a message, right? Our guidance is not in our environment. Our guidance is inside of ourselves, and we get to dictate what our environment means. Honestly, take that in. I want you to think about if someone is rejecting you or abandoning you and you're on this beautiful path in life, ask yourself, okay, what if that is true? What does that mean about me? And so often people will say, well, I don't know. I'm just figuring myself out. What I'll say for sure is what I know is that's a lesser vibration. That's a lower vibration. That's a weaker vibration. Our goal is to stay in the 4D, which is manifestation. 4D says you either choose from positivity and create, or you fall into fear and you get stuck and you create from fear. So we need to start creating from positivity and saying, I'm a more dominant energy in this world than worldly stuff. Because don't forget, people and worldly experiences have free will. They're not functioning from God's will a lot of the time. You have to know what that is for you. So a lot of times people get this relief when I tell them, oh, people are doing that to you. Well, that's not God doing that to you. That's people with free will who probably have wounds, right? So what is your capacity to allow yourself to continue to thrive, to continue to grow? And people will say, I don't have support. I understand that. That's hard. That's when you go online and you watch YouTube videos and you get support by understanding what's going on and choosing wisely, choosing to not let this old wound that feels so strong, that feels like intuition, but it's actually trauma. You don't let that pull you off. Instead, you say, I'm going to have faith, even though this looks delusional. I'm going to do that anyway, and watch what happens. You stay connected to yourself. You engender the participation of your higher self. Your higher self will never say you're bad, you should be worried about yourself, you should doubt yourself. Your higher self is always saying, let's go anyway. We have to remember that our sole purpose is not going to be found in society. We have to be the change society needs. So I hope this message finds you well. I hope it gave you some kind of insight. If it did, please share with whoever you think this message could help. Please make sure to go say hi to me on Instagram. I'm doing an event this weekend live. It's free. You can tune in virtually. I have my book coming out in March. Make sure you're on my book release list. There's so many more exciting things going on. And by the way, my holiday sale starts Monday. So make sure you're on my newsletter. Make sure you're saying hi to me on Instagram. Make sure you comment here if you're none of the above. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you in the next video.